here's a wild story I found. It's on archive, but from Video Games Chronicle. Capcom wanted Resident Evil 7 to be a live-action game with microtransactions, but executive producer Jun Takeuchi says the development team fought back. Now, I understand this is kind of an older story. I just now found out about it, to be honest, because this is fucking batshit crazy. It doesn't even sound real. Capcom originally wanted Resident Evil 7 Biohazard to be a live service game with online multiplayer and microtransactions. Its executive producer has revealed. I'll link this in the description box if you want to have to read it for yourself, but like, how the fuck would you make Resident Evil 7? Like, I mean, just in general, how would you make Resident Evil a fucking live service game? I mean, in a new discussion with Shinji Mikami, the legend, on the official Biohazard YouTube channel, Jun Takeuchi explained how Capcom was putting pressure on the development team to implement such features in the game until Takeuchi was asked to join the project and scrapped those plans. Thank God for that. When we started working on Resident Evil 7, we went back to what is horror anyway discussion, Takeuchi explained. I talked about it a lot with Resident Evil 7 director Koshi Nakanishi. So what are we going to do? We talked about stuff even before starting work on Resident Evil 7 actually. And right around that time, there was a big push at Capcom, a big marketing push saying we have to make the games players are asking for. So we were being told, make this, make that. It was really hard on the directors. Online multiplayer this, downloadable content that, ongoing service games, microtransactions. Make a Resident Evil game that ticks all those boxes. Seriously, there were so many demands, those poor directors. Finally, our president, Sugimoto, stepped in. He'd heard about all the unsuccessful attempts at that point, so this is one of those unforgettable moments for me. January 4th, the first working day of the new year, the president called me to his office. Resident Evil 7's in pretty bad shape. Takeuchi-kun, step in and help make it. So that's how I ended up working on Resident Evil 7. Then he said that when he joined the team, he pushed to enlist Nakanishi as the game's director, then set about trying to remove the live service and microtransaction features Capcom was trying to implement. That's fucking crazy. He decided that Resident Evil's roots are in horror. Talked about it a lot. The idea of multiplayer got killed off pretty quickly. If we could probably put it together, we could make an exciting horror multiplayer game, but we didn't really have any good ideas, so we set it aside. We went down the list. I like this part. We went down the list, chopping them out until we had marketing's worst nightmare, a regular old single-player horror game. That's what we ended up with. And the game has sold millions of copies. Then they talk about, it's got an 86 on Metacritic and stuff, but the thing is, it's sold millions of copies. And it's widely considered to be a really strong. And now it is in first person. I know some people are like totally for that, and other people are against it because. And I happen to know some people get sick playing those, first person type games and stuff. But anyway, the point of this is that, they were dangerously close from having this game be some fucking bullshit, live service, microtransaction, just mess. That's fucking crazy. There's not a whole lot to say other than just thankfully that didn't happen because that would have been terrible. Like Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6, they get a lot of grief because a lot of people consider them to be the worst Resident Evil games and this and that. They're not like really horror style games. Although I remember playing Resident Evil 5 and 6 co-op with a friend and having fun. Those were good games. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, I guess. But it's just. They got back to their roots and they were rewarded with millions of copies sold, tons of praise from the critics and stuff and the fans alike. They made the right move. Whoever this person was, or people that wanted to make it a live service game with microtransactions, okay, you don't get to make any more decisions. You're done. But anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. Thank you very much for watching and have a good one.